Hey, there we go. All right. So we're starting to have something here. What I'm a bit surprised is that the component has this text in the middle. So there are two things. First of all, we didn't give it any text. So in order to create some sort of template, it just filled it out with some whatever contextual boilerplate code. So it just predicted, we're probably talking about training, CrossFit, whatever. We're just going to add some random text just to highlight the structure of the website. But I am a bit surprised is because if we go back to the layouts, but this is the hero centered. Okay, so what I'm gonna tell it is, please update the. Oops, we don't have to yell. Please update the hero component with the layout. What do I want? I want the one with the image on the right. So I want the layout hero split screen, image right. And of course, you could also just you could probably achieve the same results by having this larger description. Or the text should be on the left side of the screen. It should contain blah blah blah, and then the right side should be reserved for the image. But because I already have these sort of context, I already gave it, so this should be a lot easier. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So we're having something. Cool. So now we can see this boilerplate, this text that was just filled out. It's just a filler. And I want us to explore the component a little bit together. And it should be under components, and it should be, no, not the nav bar, sections. Good, hero. All right. And now looking at this code, we can see that the way that you should just essentially see this is that this one describes the characteristics of in this case, of the text. And then you can see the text is the Trainingspartner. So if you go back, this is this one, right? So this the Trainingspartner. So all of this code is essentially describing that it should have this size, it should have this color, and you should use this font. All right, so the font size is medium, text is small, it's an uppercase. Oops. I can't really remember what of these. All right, but we can see that for every piece of text that we find in this component, we kind of have a section here, and we can see, and you see, this is just an internal comment for us. But the large language model is good enough to actually tell us, okay, this is the eyebrow of the hero section, this is the heading, this is the subheading, these are the call to action. So these are probably the buttons, right? Komigang and see roadmap, right? Komigang and see roadmap. What's interesting here, so what I want to highlight here is that the text here is hard-coded, meaning that if I want to change the text there, I have to every time come into this hero section, and then I'm going to have to introduce some new characters, right? And hopefully if we okay. I think I know what's happening. I have to save it. Okay, yes. So normally what the settings that I have on VS Code is that it should automatically save every little change that I make. Now this has advantages and disadvantages, but I'm just so used to it that I forgot to press save. So in this case, if I remove this, right, and I go back and I refresh it, nothing's going to happen. But if I press Control Save now, we can see that it just updated, and it's updated the text immediately. Anyways, I'm not sure. I'm not going to change it now. I'm just going to continue with this. So every time I have to come back, then I'm gonna have to make these. I'm gonna have to specifically come into this place and text and change the text. So what this means is that the text is hard coded in this little component in this larger hero component. Now the question is, what do I do now? This is in Danish, right? How am I going to solve the English problem? So let's see what happens if we go on to the English one. Okay, it's just going to load the same page for us for now. This is not how it should be. So, and this is when these two files come in, and you can see it has already done some work here. So now if we open both of them in parallel like this, we can see that the top navigation bar has a key and its content, right? And we can see the same thing happening here as well for the Danish version as well, right? So we can see essentially the keys are the same, but their content is different based on the language file in which we're in. So moving forward, it's going to be a lot easier to just point some of these keys into this component so they will already know where to look. So if we want to add more text, we don't have to go in each and every component and look for the text. As long as we make sure that we write one or two versions of the text that we want in, it should be working. And I like to organize it a little bit. Okay, so we can see train with intention. But it's weird that we kind of have some keys here, but they're not implemented into the hero section. So I'm going to go back into my English section, and I'm going to say, but this is because it's a home, so we don't have any, we don't have a hero section. So we can just write a hero section now. And the way we're going to do this is that we're going to say hero, and then within this hero, and you can see I already have suggestions. Train with intention, Fitras helps to track, analyze, improve. I'm just going to press tab. Tab means accept. So I'm just going to accept it very quickly. And this is too much. So we're going to put it like this. And we need should be like this. Shouldn't it? No, you're right. Where I am missing one. There we go. Though I'm not sure why is this bad boy complaining. No, it should be like this. And then we're missing the comma here. Good. Even though, so I need to indent this and then take this back. Perfect. So now we have a hero section. And if we go here, hopefully the system is going to pick up that I'm missing a hero section quite quickly. Yes. And now what I can tell it is that make sure that the hero component contains the text from the en.json and da.json. And that the top nav bar on the right side contains an option to change languages. So now, ideally, the large language model is going to implement this key directly into these components, and hopefully the navbar is going to contain a way in which we can change the language, so we can both check the code, right? So hopefully it's not going to be hard coded here, and then we can also see it live. And then the reason why I think it's easier to install this i18n even if you're only using one language, because again, as long as you have this one file, you can always just create and write your text here and then just tell the large language model to update it with these keys. So every time you want to add or remove text or update text, you only need to go to this one file instead of going into every component and then updating it manually. So that's one of the tips and tricks that I would suggest you guys do. Okay. It's a bit weird that it wants to install this again since I just installed it. But sure, do whatever you want. Do what you need to do. Okay, let's look at what's happening in the English and Danish files. It's a bit weird that it wants to update the text since the text is already there. So you have to be a bit careful so you don't get some of these loose. Oh, something happened, I think. Yeah, okay, so it just updated the hero section, which is fine for now. Yeah, so probably our hero collection did not contain all of the components that were, all of the keys for the text that were already in the components, so it just got updated. Okay, sure. Update hero to use translations. So something should be cooking, something should be coming soon enough. Not yet. Another nav bar. Okay. So now, if we update it, okay, it's a bit counterintuitive because it says the Danish one is the English one, and so essentially it's press the English one and then it will be the English one and press the Danish one if you want the Danish. But the UX is a bit different, right? That you are on the language in which you are. Or actually, let's double check. Let's take a big website. McKinsey, yes, should be good. Good. Blah 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 blah. We don't want to ask the chatbot. We don't want to subscribe. Okay. So for them, this is just in English by default. Let's look at my website. How did I do it in my own? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it makes sense, right? If it's Danish, it's Danish. If it's English, it's English. And if it's Romanian, then it's Romanian. We're going to fix this. And what we're going to say is that if the language button shows English, then the English then the page, then the website should display